This is our video of us putting together the DK2 MMT5x7. I believe the G just stands for galvanized, so it's probably the same trailer. It was relatively easy to put this together. We bought it from Home Depot and had it delivered because it was quite heavy. We did just follow the instructions in the manual, first laying everything out, making sure everything was there, all the nuts and bolts. So we bought this because this is the trailer we tried to redo. It was laying around our family member's yard for about 20 years, and it was just going to be too expensive to redo the axle, so we ended up just buying this trailer. This part was a little bit confusing, so this is feeding the chain through the tongue. Sorry, that's a little bit fast, but we had to watch a YouTube video to make sure we were doing it correctly. The axle was probably one of the parts that we were the most concerned about getting on correctly, simply because that is the part that's going to be driving you down the road, and we really didn't feel like having it fall off in the middle of a transport to the compost yard. We do not have a torque wrench, so really we tried to just make sure that everything was about the same pressure and number of turns that we were doing on each side. We just wanted to make sure that everything was snug but not over tight. To make sure that we got the wheels on correctly, we actually propped it up on either side with a couple of pieces of wood to make sure that the wheel was off of the ground while we were putting it on. You can't actually tighten it down all the way until it's flipped over, and that does talk about that in the instructions as well. The wiring is relatively straightforward. You just have to follow the instructions, and it's just really clipping everything together. Like I was saying before, once you flip it over, you can tighten down the lug nuts to make sure that they're nice and secure. I feel like we spent entirely too much time trying to figure out the fenders. We do actually end up watching a YouTube video on how to put it on. You do have to maneuver the L brackets a little bit, so you do have to loosen them up and kind of maneuver them on each side. What we did is we did one side, got it on, and then I took pictures and made sure that the other side looked similar, but basically just flipped like a mirror. Once we did that, the fenders were in place and we didn't have any issues after that. The side panels are pretty easy to put on. You just need to make sure that you tighten them securely, but don't over tighten them. The lights were also pretty easy because there's quite a bit of explanation in the instruction manual. You just have to make sure that you get the driver's side one on the driver's side, because it has a light at the bottom, or an opening rather, that needs to be able to be seen. With the front and back panels, you'll notice that you'll have a couple type of bolts left. Just make sure you use the bolts with the smooth area above the threading in the right place. It's pretty self-explanatory once you start doing it. And this is the final product. We have used it for a load of yard debris, and it worked really great. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.